Darla, real estate agent with a real broker. And I came across a couple of days ago an email from Monique Smith with NOLA Lending. Email that said something to the effect of first responders, medical people, educators are going to have an amazing opportunity with loans that were not in existence before. So, as you know, I was in education for 20 years before I got into real estate. So, educators always have my heart. Of course, anybody in the medical field, God bless you all, because I never could have done anything in the medical field. So, when I heard that there were some loan options available for those people, my ears perked up, and so I called Monique and said, hey, listen, let's do a live video so we can explain to people all of these opportunities that now exist, because you know as well as I do, everything right now is expensive. And so anytime there's anything that can help us in any way, shape, or form, I'm all ears. So good morning, Monique. Thank you for getting up so early
Well,
and
of
joining me.
course.
And I can't
Good
hear
morning.
you.
Can't hear me?
Hold on. Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, just maybe talk a little louder.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, maybe louder. Maybe
Is
everybody
it?
else can hear you and not me.
Yeah, I think it's because of your maybe in your vehicle or you're on your Bluetooth.
Okay, well,
That could be
just
it.
go ahead and hopefully they can hear you.
Man, I wish I could get a thumbs up or something. Yeah, it's on.
Okay, just go ahead.
If whoever's watching, if you could just give us a thumbs up if my audio is okay, that would be fantastic. You can't hear me at all, Darla.
I can
You
hear
can't.
you, but it's probably because the road background noise.
Okay, good. Well, if anybody could just give me a thumbs up, that'd be great. So, good morning. My name's Monique Smith with NOLA Lending. I'm going to make this short and sweet because everybody is probably on a commute or has a day planned. So, as Darla mentioned, we are able to offer, we are certified to offer some assistance towards down payment and closing costs. Okay. And what that consists of, you have to meet certain criteria to qualify for that. Some of it things are like a 640 credit score. Household income limit is 125,000. We can do it with any loan program, so conventional, FHA, VA, and rural development. And an example of that would be if you are, an example of the assistance would be if you're looking at a house and we're going to go with FHA that requires a down payment. And you're like, well, Mo, everything is expensive, like Darla said. I don't have a big pot saved for my down payment. Well, if your loan amount is $200,000, you could potentially qualify for $8,000. So that opens up a world of options for people that previously are sitting at home. I'm never going to be a homeowner. I don't have a down payment and things like that. Okay. So this pertains to, and I'm going to just go through a quick little list. If you're an employee of an emergency response agency, if you're a firefighter, anybody in law enforcement, licensed paramedic, and Darla and I touched on this briefly yesterday. If you are currently teaching and you have your teaching certificate, you would potentially be able to qualify. If you're an employee of an assisted living facility, a nursing facility, a hospital, I mean, this is a huge list. If you're an employee of a pharmacy or a drugstore, like I think a lot of us here in the South call it, a physician's office, doctor's office, outpatient care clinic, and or dentist and orthodontist office. So you guys, if you know anyone that is even in the realm thinking of purchasing here in the near future, especially with what we're hearing about rates, the buzz in the industry are rates going to drop and things like that this month. Now is the time to talk to Darla, get my information because we can set you up to potentially put your new Christmas tree in your new house. So, Darla, did you have any questions or did you think about anything else you wanted to briefly go over regarding these programs? Can you hear me? I'm not sure that she can hear us. But if anybody has any questions, you can reach out to Darla to get my information. Something else that just popped in my head is if you have, I know a lot of college students, parents are wanting to help these new graduates or want to be a non-occupying co-borrower, which means you're not going to live in the property with your child, but you want to help them to qualify. You potentially qualify for this assistance program as well as a first-time home buyer, because it's sort of a two sides of a coin, first responder or first-time home buyer, and your income won't hurt them. So we have, I mean, the if you have the puzzle pieces to help us put the puzzle together, this could potentially work for you. So you can reach out to Darla to get my information. Darla, can you hear me?
Monique, I can hear you a little bit, and I'm going to pull over in a second. But look, I think a lot of people have the misconception that going to their local bank, the bank unless you really want to put down 20% down or more on a home, why a bank is not your best option.
Okay, you broke up a little bit, Darla, but I think if I heard you correctly, that local banks are saying that the minimum is 20% down. Is that what you're saying? I'm
Yes.
sorry, you broke up. Okay. No, that is a misconception. It's a If you can put 20% down, it is fantastic, obviously, because you pay off your principal quicker. But down payment assistance to help you with closing costs and help you, Darla, with negotiating.
Right. Okay, so I can hear you a little bit. And so listen, I get the question all the time. Can you hear me, Monique?
Yes.
Most people, no matter what I tell them, and before I got into real estate, listen, I believe the same thing, that you had to have perfect credit and you had to have at least 20% down to buy a house. And I think lots of people have the misconception that going anywhere except for a bank is kind of like those payday loans that people go when they don't have good credit. I think that's the misconception that a lot of people have because they believe you must go to a bank. So, what would you
Yeah.
say to those people that just feel leery about just calling up a person like you that doesn't work at a physical location at a bank, right? Where they just think in their heads, that's where I need my house. Leery. And I'm pulling over so I can hear you.
Yeah, I'm losing you, but I think I got the gist. Just correct if you correct me if I miss anything, but that is a huge misconception. It's old school, traditional. Banks on one side we have our guidelines and laws that we have to follow. Okay, obviously not just anyone can extend that amount of money to someone. We have our rules. Banks, however, have layers of rules. So not only do you have to break through the rules to get qualified with a bank or your regular traditional bank, but you have to break their rules as well. On my end, being a true lender, we can, now this is not for the assistance program, so we're kind of going to going to get it step into another box, but we can technically go as low as a 580 credit score. Now, just because you have a 580 or higher credit score, of course, does not mean you're going to qualify, but it opens up more room to work with buyers and help them get into homes. But 580 on some of these programs is the bottom. Now, you call me, you're not sure about your credit, that's not a reason not to call me, because let's get a plan B in place if your credit isn't where you want it to be and get you in a potential to close in the next 6 months to a year. But
Right. So
yes,
if
that is an issue.
somebody's wanting to buy a house in the next 3 months, 6 months, and they say, listen, I need to buy a house. I want to buy a house, but I know my credit is in the tank for whatever the reason may be. And lots of times it's because people are going through a separation or a divorce or
Yes.
something like that. And they feel like, wow, it's just, now I'm digging myself out of a hole. What would you say to those people?
Preparation, preparation, preparation.
Right.
If you just keep it hidden in the closet because you're afraid of it, it will never come to fruition. Okay. But if you start preparing, especially in any of those big job change, marriage change status, children, either having children or like I just did recently, gently nudging them out of the nest, preparation is key. And if you do not have a loan officer that wants to listen to you, regardless of your credit score, regardless of your situation. It's not always going to happen today, but it can sure as heck happen in the near future. And preparing and planning for that is the best opportunity. So don't be bummed out. It's nothing to be embarrassed about. Credit is not taught in school. Unfortunately, how to build credit is not taught in school. But am not a credit professional, but I've been around it for 11 years. I've seen the ins and outs. I've actually had 3 young adults that all have credit. They're in their 20s. Taught them they're able to buy a house if they wanted to, not ready yet. But planning and preparation is key. And I'd love to help.
Okay. Yes, and I always say to people, listen, there are no stupid questions.
No.
If you get in touch with a lender or a mortgage broker that you feels like you're a pain, then find somebody else. Because listen, you need somebody like Monique who you can ask the question, ask the question, ask the question.
Yes.
And they're not going to make you feel stupid or feel like you're a pain in the butt. But when they give you a plan, follow it. And do what they tell you to do, because they are the expert and they're going to be able to help you potentially purchase a home if you follow the plan and the system, right? So if your credit's not so great, if you don't have the down payment that you may need, but listen, did you say 125 or less?
That's for the assistance. If your household income is less than 125, yes.
Right. So 125, if you as a family or just as a person make less than 125, which listen, is the vast majority of people, right? Yes. That's an average. That's actually high average income. Then give Monique a call or message her, and I'm going to put her phone number in the description as soon as we're done with this. And or message her and call her and say, look, I don't know if I can buy a house, but I want to buy a house either now or in the near future, and come up with a plan and a way to get it done, right? Because there's always a way if you are willing to be motivated and put in the hard work and follow an expert. Because listen, if I were going to buy a house right now, I'm not the expert. Monique is the expert. I'm not. I can help you find a house to buy a house, but you also will need to deal with a lender or a mortgage broker who can help you come up with a plan to buy it, right? Yes. So thank you. Anything else you'd like to share before we go?
I know another thing that just real quick that comes up is people get nervous. They're like, who do I call for insurance? How do I figure out property taxes? And all of these overwhelming things that are in your mind, that is what I can help with. I'm a one-stop shop. I'm not an insurance broker or anything, but we have enough people around us. And I promise you have people that you know as well that we can incorporate into our partnership, our little process. So don't let those things intimidate you, because it is figure outable. I had a lady say that yesterday. She's like, I finally can figure it out. So, you need a team of people behind you, and we have that.
That's right. Well, thank you. Have a great week. We appreciate you.
All righty, honey. Thank you. Bye, everybody.
All right. And guys, remember, in real estate, like I always say, there are no stupid questions. Don't be afraid to ask your questions. Most of the stuff that I teach you in my videos today, 5.5 years ago, before I was in real estate, I had no idea. So there are no stupid questions. If you have questions about buying, if you have questions about selling, if you have questions about getting finance, all those things, just ask those questions and don't be afraid to ask. And if you're working with someone currently who just makes you feel maybe like a pain because you're asking question after question after question, listen, there are plenty of people out there who will make you feel like it's okay to ask questions. So get in touch with someone who you know, like, and trust, who will answer all your hard questions and not make you feel like you are stupid, all right? And if you're anywhere in Acadiana, I'd love to help you out. And basically, I sell anywhere in Louisiana. So if you're looking for someone to sell your home, I will drive just about anywhere. Now, as far as for buying, that just depends on how far you want to look, right? And really what's your budget. So if I'm not the agent for you, I absolutely can set you up with someone in your area if you're too far from me, who is a great agent and can help answer all your questions. Y'all have a great Wednesday. It's looking like a gorgeous day in South Louisiana. I'm out and about. I have trainings today, a couple of house showings, and just all kinds of things real estate. Love real estate. If you hadn't noticed, I just listed a house in Iota. So if you're looking for something on an acre of property that's been completely updated, 4-bedroom, 3-bath home under $300,000, give me a call. That one is in complete move-in condition. It's in an area where flood insurance is not required. It's Iota school zone. It's on a paved road. You have city water, all the things, a metal roof. So I'd love to show it to you. Y'all take care. Have a great week and reach out if you need anything.